Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and unicorns. This time I'm almost on time with my stream, and thank you all for joining. Yeah, luckily this time I'm not as late as the last time. I think last time I was late by 25 minutes, and this time, well, actually I was early by 24 hours. As the American date format threw me off a little bit. So if you're still here after 24 hours, I congratulate you. You can pack up now your sleeping bag, and I'm sorry there won't be a new iPhone. With that out of the way, thank you so much for joining. And as I said or mentioned multiple times, I'm not going to play Super Mario Maker 2 levels because nobody submitted their level, and I can't blame any of you. For one thing, I'm not that good in playing Mario games, as you've witnessed, so I don't think this would be very entertaining anyway. But we're here today to watch me edit some more of the Ludum Dare 42 documentary. Oh man, it's my biggest project so far, and it's still in the works, and I know everyone is waiting for it to get finished, even I myself. So this is why we are here, that we can keep working on it together. Okay, so why am I doing this? I'm putting on now my headphones as if it wasn't already hot enough in here. And I think we should head straight over to the good old Adobe Premiere. Transition time. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of overview what you are going to see here, and let me just switch back right here to the big mode. For one thing, sorry about the planes. I got the window open, so if you hear any kind of rumbles, it's the last planes for today taking off or landing or just being plainly annoying. And if you hear some screaming, it's probably the kids. No reason to call the cops. Oh yes, of course, there is, let me just quickly open up here my notes. Yeah, a little bit of bookkeeping. This stream should be going for an hour, 1.5, something around this time. And last time I neglected the live stream, so sorry for that. I will try to at intervals check it, and in the end there will be some time for questions or just random chat banter, and maybe, I don't know, if there will be time or interest, I can show you what else I've been working on creatively this week. Yes, so with that out of the way, my goals for today are just showing you what I've been working on in terms of the Ludum Dare 42 documentary, which is the Film Noir bit that's wedged there in between, and I'm very proud of that, and I spared no expense or effort, and this is why it's taking so long, because it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's dive in for real now into editing everything. Transition time. There we are. Okay, I made a little room down here. Hello, I'm in your lower left corner. And what you see is Premiere. I increased the size of my mouse pointer as much as I can, but I think this is still barely enough to be viewable. So I'm sorry if this whole screen at 4K gets squished down to HD. Oh good, another plane. Why not? Why not? Okay, so on the upper left hand of the screen, you can see here is the bin where all my footage goes. Again, kids and planes. Now, today we got it all. Okay, here, this big thing here is where the effects go, or the preview. If I click open one video frame, this one to the right here is the program window. Oh my god, it's a huge plane. Excellent. This is where everything of the edit that is going to be in the final edit shows up. So this is just the footage where I can select footage, and this is what shows up here. And down below we have here the huge timeline. What you can see already in this is the whole Film Noir bit from start to finish. Let me just scrub over it so you can just get a glimpse of what's happening in here, and you can see the varying quality of the footage. This is due to the fact that I shot a layout pass of everything, which means I set aside just 3 or 4 hours and shot everything without lights or costumes or anything, just to have the screenplay on video that I can edit and position it around, pretty much an animated storyboard. And this is what you see here. This is why I'm out of focus and wearing an Infocom t-shirt, and it intercuts here with some of the actual footage for the final thing that I shot but not edited so far. Okay, so you can see it's quite substantial here, and today I think we're going to edit this great scene here. Actually, it's two scenes in one, because this one again is here just some observation stuff going on, and then I'm switching over to this stick up here of just robbing a guy of something that he's carrying. It's not going to be a spoiler, maybe it's just you just get a piece of the puzzle, but if you don't know what the whole picture on the puzzle is or how many pieces there still are, I think you're good. So this shouldn't be too spoilery. What I'm going to spoil, however, is my way of shooting and editing and pretty much working, but I guess this is why we are all here. So let's have a look at the chat before starting out, and I can see, oh, excellent, I'm not the only one here. This is great, so thank you for joining. Monieu, Frank, Tyler, Fabi, Benjamin, and Red Hermit. So close your eyes, spoilers in the scrub. Okay, so I'm not going to scrub over the whole timeline anymore. It's just this one scene here. Okay, I already imported my footage, so we're going to edit now scene number 10. And since I shot this here with my trusty DSLR camera with a custom firmware, it's not the firmware that I made, it's just not a Canon stock firmware, which means that I could shoot raw video. Essentially, this means you're not limited to a pretty crappy H.264 video stream that's just 8 bits and badly compressed. No, shooting in RAW means you get the full 14 bits of color definition there. The downside is it eats memory cards for breakfast. It's like 10 minutes of raw footage take 64 gigs. So this is why I try when I'm shooting to keep things really short and already delete all the takes in camera that didn't work out. So just to get through for one scene or just a couple of to be able to shoot a couple of takes without having to copy everything over, which takes an hour. Yeah, you get the picture. Okay, so I've been talking way too long before showing you anything, so let's do this. Okay, so I already have here 5 different bins, each for different sections or different sizes of perspectives in a sense. So I can already see here that the camera is a little bit skewed. So, but this is one of the first shots for this scene. So let's find it also in here for this layout. So this was the layout here. It's where this one person is walking and this detective is there coming into the frame from the other side. It's all, let me just scale it up here for you. It's just all very, very cheap and cheesy. Like I said, it's just an animated storyboard so that I know how things should play out. And as you can see also here, just make it big again, those white lines on the left and the right side, those are the safe frame, because since I'm pretending that this whole Film Noir bit was shot in the 1940s, they didn't have widescreen back then. Everything was still 4:3, and this is why I'm constraining myself also to the framing of a 4:3 aspect ratio. Okay, another thing is, let me get this one here, the unicorn. This one here has kindly been taking care of this. Oh my god, the unicorn just dropped. Oh no! Okay, she's fine. Ashley is fine. Has been guarding this. This is the script, so before doing anything, I just want to make sure that what I'm going to edit is as expected in the script. But it's just back alley night. Hey Bo, what is this? So just to show you again, let's... Man, I love those transitions. Just to show you, it's just 1 or 2 pages. There, it's a man in a black coat, and it's just a detective. And please, I don't have much. Yeah, it's essentially it's just robbing the guy. And while I was shooting, of course, I also made some shooting boards so that I know what shot I need to cover, what happens in the shot, also what is important in terms of wardrobe and props that I need for each shot. And as you can see, the red tick marks mean yes, I did in fact shoot it. The problem was that I think I missed 1 or 2 shots, but yeah, this happens. Especially I'm not used to performing live in the public, and while I was shooting everything here, and it was around midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning, there were still people around. They never give you any peace. Okay, so back to the edit, and here we are. And yeah, let's just see how we can recreate this. Okay, so you can see this yellow stuff here. This is what is happening right now in the edit. It's just a mess, and I'm not going to tinker with it as much because I don't really need it anymore. All I need is to know that yes, we are walking here and it's going to be a split screen. So I shot a couple of takes here. One with this with myself in the code. This was probably not it because I think I pointed my hand, but I don't know where I'm going to edit. Maybe I will need the hand here with the gun because I really like this. This looks pretty cool. Of course, the camera is not quite level, but it hardly is. So maybe I need to zoom in a little bit and tilt the camera so that everything it isn't looking as it was taking place on a ship. But so far I really like this one here, coming into the frame and then saying something. You know what? There's one thing I almost forgot, that we have sound, of course. And this is one of the big drawbacks when you're shooting with RAW, because you're pumping so much data onto this little card that I had to record sound externally. Usually when I do this here in the apartment, it's not big of a problem because I can just set up the microphone and get it real close and do it all properly. But where is my audio recorder? Just hang on a bit. But for this I shot with this thing here. This is my trusty Tascam DR100 Mark II audio recorder, and I just had it on the camera like this. Can you see it? Yeah. So the audio is not perfect because I thought I was going to redub everything if necessary anyway. And like I said, acting in front of onlookers is really weird. I think I will never get used to it. So we should do some synchronization of the sound first. And I won't be doing this here in my master edit, of course, because I just need some kind of, yeah, essentially it's just a scratch timeline where I can align those things. But I think I didn't record any sound for this first shot here. What I did, however, is take screenshots here of the clip information of this magic lantern. That's what the firmware is called, of the raw file, so that I knew when it was shot. It was 57 minutes past midnight on the 1st of August when I shot this, and it also has all the camera data. This is very handy, and I haven't found a neat way of storing this in a text file, and this is one of my projects, is doing writing a tool myself that can extract this kind of metadata. Anyway, let's finally do some editing here. So like I said, for this shot I won't be needing audio. I recorded sound only, or MOS takes, which stands for motor only sound or shot, something along those lines, that I can redub, but for now it's not needed. So I'm going to delete this whole sequence here, and I only know how long it is. Okay, so we got the first guy here walking in and then turning around because he's being called. The second shot is, okay, so this is already the detective, but this is not a good shot because I'm not really acting. This was just a test, so this one was better. I really like the gun here, and let's have a look at the third shot. Okay, so the third shot is again the first take. this one here. So I can see which one works better. Usually, a rule of thumb is that either if you shoot multiple takes, either the first one or the last one is the best one. And in my case here, I'm always going with the last one, because by then I have worked out all, the how to call it, the mechanics. It's not called the mechanics of a shot. Everything that goes in there, where I need to go, the whole stuff that's not involved with acting. It's just that I know where I am in the frame, the whole timings and so on. So this is why I'm just taking here the last shot. So what was the shot before? The shot before was the detective observing this guy and following him around. Okay, so I think I have there one transitional shot in between, but for now, let's not be concerned with this one. Okay, let's do this. So setting the in point here. We're just waiting here, and at this point here, I think the detective should come in, and then we cut again. Okay, so this one is quite longer than expected, so let's move the bunch of the edit, everything that goes behind it, just move it to the side so we get some room to work with. Cool. So let's just drop it in here and see if it works. So we're well here in our framing, which is good. And I want the detective to come in at this moment. So this is the track for the detective. And I waited here a little bit so that I could, if I should need it longer, that I can just stretch it without any artifacts showing up that I'm stretching video or playing it in slow motion over a couple of frames. Yeah, this is all I learned for the when I was doing the Ludum Dare 41 keynote. Oh my god, I'm way behind. Okay, so this is apparently it's too long. I will zoom up now here in the timeline that you can see those bars a little bit better here. Like I said, yeah, I know this the stream is probably hard to make out what I'm doing here, because I'm scaling down this 4K image onto HD and then live streaming it, but I think it should work fine. Okay, so the detective enters the frame at this very frame here. So I'm just clipping it, and so my way of editing is we're following where people are looking. So if we're watching this guy here, he's coming into the frame. So as a viewer, we are looking at him, and now he turns, I need to disable this one here. Now he turns his head a little bit looking outside of the frame, and now his gaze is coming to the front. And if as onlookers, we just keep following the shadow, and at this moment I want the detective to enter the frame, because it would feel probably quite natural, something like this. Okay, so but the detective needs to be really fast, but we don't see his mouth moving because he's calling something out. So maybe, let's do this split screen first. So he's in the frame here, and the split screen is, because people are not overlapping, it's pretty easy to do. I'm just scaling this here to 75%. And here in my opacity rollout, I got a mask, and with the mask I got this little pen tool, as is common in all Adobe software. And now I can just draw a mask here and feather the borders a little bit, and that should do. Okay, so we're here, and this guy here is almost turning around, which should only happen when the detective calls him out. So maybe I let him enter here a little bit earlier. Bam. Okay, and there we cut. But what to? Let's consult the shot list. So we're cutting to the detective that enters the frame. So now we're seeing him from the front. Okay, let's step back one folder there, and we got the detective wide. So this is only one shot, and here we got the metadata, the audio of the whole shot, and the shot itself. Let me show you real quick. So this is, yeah, I was holding, of course, my Slate app into the frame, and then just walked over there. Oh my god, you can still see here a bit of the tripod. If I zoom in here, you can see one leg of the tripod of the light that I was having here. This one here. But I think we should be good because it should be outside of the 4:3 framing anyway. So here is a detective that just goes, "Hey, Bo." Problem is, like I said, I wasn't feeling too well with the occasional onlookers and people going by to the cigarette vending machine there, and just because of all the lights, people were peeking out of their windows and just watching what the hell was going on here. And here was I in a trench coat and a fedora with a gun. So at least I should be thankful that nobody called the police on me. So it's a little bit unfocused. It's a little bit on the blurry side, but yeah, maybe we can fix this in post. So I'm just seeing if this works. Hey, Bo, what is this? Stick up. Okay, so yeah, we cut here. Hey, Bo, and then we cut back. But before doing this cutting here, of course, we need audio. Even if it's just temp audio, we really need to do this. So I get here one timeline. By the way, I have here multiple timelines where I can cut back and forth. So this is the whole layout of this whole bit here. As you can see here with scene and shot and setup numbers here just for myself. And I rendered this out so I could take stills of this video, and this is everything that is in here in my little shot list, so that I know how to identify a shot. And especially now that I'm working on the visual effects, it's helpful to have a consistent enumeration of stuff, so I know that, yeah, I'm working on shot 250B1 or something. Okay, so but enough. Let's switch over to the empty syncer timeline and sync up what is going on here. So let's zoom in here a little. So I got here my video and my sound, and oh yeah, of course the video, this is the one that I've already edited down. So but I need clear in out, but I need, of course, the whole shot. Okay, how do you sync video? Usually it happens automatically, but for my purposes I have here, like I said, made my little app which does the syncing for you. Well, it doesn't do it for you, but it helps. Right now it's completely out of focus, but all I need is to know when the screen switches the colors, which happens at the same time the app makes a sound for one frame, and this is here where it changes over to green. I'm not sure if you can see it because it's completely overexposed and already producing here some artifacts, but it's enough to know that something's happening here. Okay, then I hit M to place a marker here in my timeline. You probably can't see it, but it's a green little marker that my playhead snaps back to, so that I know where this happens. And here, if I zoom into now the waveform, you can see, I hope you can see, there is this little peak going on here, and this should be, let's have a listen. Yeah, I probably can hardly hear it. I just turn up here now the desktop audio a little bit further. It's just like a little click. It's just a white noise for, I think, 1/10 or over 10 milliseconds, not 1/10 of a second, 10 milliseconds. So, and I know that this is, of course, the sync point in my audio. So I make an M mark here. And now I got a mark there and a mark on the video. And I just zoom in that those two marks lie on top of each other. And let's check this. Yes, they do. And that we can hear what is being said, because this is the raw audio. It's not even normalized or anything, or gained up. Is this correct? Either way, yeah, it's just way too silent. So I just said normalize peak to 0 decibels, and it should be a lot louder. Yeah. Now you can hear me walk. This is good, and you know what? Because this is loud and the end is loud, I will also cut here in between, and the silent part here I will also increase by 40 decibels, so it will be quite noisy. And you can hear the people that are just looking and watching, just having a chat and talking about what's happening, which was very annoying. I'm not quite sure if I mentioned it.
Hey, Bo.
Yeah, I said, hey, Bo, and then they stopped.
Stick up.
Like I said, it's just for me that I know what's happening. Then I just made here long pauses for one thing that I can cut back to it, where nothing's happening, where the two guys are just staring at each other. I think this is at least what I'm pretending to. Essentially, I just forgot my lines because, like I said, I was very uncomfortable. And forgot half the lines, and the screenplay was hiding there behind the wall there on the right side, so I couldn't look it up, so I probably missed half the lines. But this is cool because I just need this wide angle shot according to my shot list. I need this wide shot only for the beginning of the scene and the ending, where the detective, I'm just making a run for it. So this is good.
Stick up.
And it looks like it's in sync. So I just can take the whole shot and say right click, link, and then copy it to where I need it. And just paste it here. Make some more room. And oh my god, this was, I don't know what I did, but I think I did something else entirely. Okay, apparently I just duplicated the whole edit on another timeline. Hey, it's great that Premiere is not crapping out, but again, I just want to copy it. And yeah, I don't need the layout, just paste it. No, what's going on here? Ah, of course. Yeah, I need a little bit more room there. So I just push the whole timeline there to the right. And there it goes. But where is my video? Apparently on a track very high above. There it is. There it is. So I need to scale down now here. Just a little bit. Come on, scaling down all. Don't want to scale them all down. Damn it. There we go. So that you can see all the video tracks at once. Okay, so but just since I just said this once, I will use just this part. Hey Bo, with the people talking. That's just great. Okay, apparently it lost its linkage, so I will link it. No, it's still linked. It's still linked. Hey Bo. And then we cut back, and because I don't want to link it again, and I know that I have to use here the ending, I'm just keeping this part here. I'm making a run for it, and since now I'm here coming back, yeah, I probably won't be needing this. So just to keep the end part of the shot here synced, because I know that I will need it later. So let's move it everything aside here. And yeah, the start I don't need. Let's move this down here. And let's see our glorious edit of 2 shots, one of them being the split screen. Hey. Yeah, it's still the temp audio.
Hey, Bo.
Okay, maybe just have it a little bit longer there.
Hey, Bo.
And maybe we can cut a little bit sooner, as soon as the detective there settles, like so. Let's try this.
Hey, Bo.
Yeah, I like this better. Okay, save is very important, and let's have a look at the chat as promised. And oh my god, there's a lot going on. So close your eyes. Spoilers. I don't need to. That I read the Noir script a while ago. I couldn't. Oh, this is great. Thank you so much for reading. I hope it was interesting. Transition, great. You like my transition. Like I said, I'm being on this creative journey, and I just thought, yeah, I want to try a transition. So let's see the transition again. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Does Premiere have magnetic timeline available? I have no idea what this means. Do you mean snapping? You can snap to stuff, and you can also have some kind of smart bins where you can say where it automatically collects folders on your hard drive with shots that match certain criteria. For example, it's shot with a certain camera, which can be helpful when you're copying over large stuff and want to work with something that's already working. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if you mean what you mean by magnetic, but yeah, you can snap to edits or not, or can select on which clips you want to snap to, and so on. Okay. I wonder if the neighbors regularly get together to discuss what Phil has been up to. I hope so. I would think so, at least, because I'm quite an eccentric. So. Hey Prada, welcome to the show. Well, if it's a show, it would be very uncomfortable, especially with the line "stick 'em up" and have a prop. Yeah. I think in Austria, this you can run around with a gun and no one really cares, because apparently shootings aren't a thing here. Cool to see the nuances and details that make the big picture so polished. Oh yeah, thank you. It's as you've seen, it's all about the little details that add up, and I think it's with everyone's projects, right? Sometimes you get this urge to polish every little detail and just pour your whole creativity into just something very tiny, and you think, yeah, people will never going to notice this, and most of the time they don't. But let me tell you one thing: if you don't, it's like with 3D graphics, right? If you want them to be realistic, you have to put in all those little details. Nobody notices them when they're there, but if they are missing, it looks bad. And I think this is also with stuff like my videos. It's all those little things you don't see it or notice it necessarily, which of course you don't have to. But it's good. It just feels coherent, and it just feels right, because as a creator, I try to make it as polished and fun to show and to view as possible. Okay, so we got this "hey Bo," and then the guy turns around and says, "Well, what is this?" So we need. Sorry that I have to lean in, because my eyesight and the text is like this high on my screen, so I have to lean in and see. It's this guy. It's wide. So let me just check here with my shot list. So stick up, and it's the wide shot already. No, please, I don't have much. Actually, we're pretty close in. Apparently, I didn't shoot a wide shot there. I shot it close, but let's see what the wide shot looks like. Maybe we can use it. Okay, fit to screen, and this is the wide shot. Also a little bit, it looks a little bit like the camera wasn't all level, but yeah, probably was just looking at the walls to the left and the right, and they look pretty okay. But yeah, maybe we just use this one here where it turns around, like so. This takes too long. I just want him to spin around, but he hesitates. It looks a little bit odd. Maybe this works. Who knows? Maybe this works. You know what? Let's sync it. So I don't need this one here. Let's sync this shot as well. And like I said, I was using, where do I have my phone? Oh, I don't have it here in the room with me, so that it doesn't constantly jingles when I'm recording. I have this app that I made my very self. This is not how you say things. I made an Android app myself, which was a lot of fun and 3 times as much pain. But I got it to work. Like I said, it just displays, you can enter your shot number and all the camera metadata, for example, like ISO settings and the aperture. And you can just say mark, and it also records it onto a CSV file, so that you have a shot list later on where you can say, yeah, you can rate how well a shot went and can log some notes. And I programmed it myself, which means when I'm using it, it works very as expected in the emulator on the computer. And once I take my phone out in the field for this one, where it really needed to work, what did I get? A runtime exception, Java error, string pointer, or pointer at empty string. Because I think I know what the problem was, but yeah, back then when I was shooting this, I just thought, yeah, fuck it, I'm just going to clap, which also is the same thing as a slate. It's the low-tech solution to a high-tech problem, but it works. You can see when the clap is happening, and you can hear it on the audio, and this is all you need. And I clap multiple times because sometimes the first one is out of frame, especially when you're very close to the camera, like in this one here. So we got the clap here. Let's pick this one here, and now I got the mark here. Good. And same thing as before with the audio. 3 claps there on the sound. This is very, very helpful that you can really see those peaks in the audio, just to help you synchronize stuff. So I'm just moving the first clap. Yeah, this looks good. So I'm just clipping off here the beginning, and then I'm here just throwing the wallet, which is probably the loudest sound there. So I'm going to normalize this track as well. Okay, so walking. Oh, that you can see better. Maybe this works. Maybe this works. What is this? It just turns around. Oh, of course, link. Audio and video. Did I just disable it? Did I just disable it? Apparently I did. Link. Yeah, just was off by one option there with my mouse. Okay, so I said we'll start from here. What is this?
What is this?
Maybe it takes a little bit too long, but yeah, you know what? If we don't try, we won't know. So, pasting it here. And I'm also going, just that we can hear what's going on, just going to normalize this as well here, but it will be very noisy.
What is this?
Yeah, it takes really long. It takes really long. When someone stops you in some kind of underpass, it's really weird if you take this long to react.
Bo? What is this?
Yeah, maybe it works. You know what? I will keep it in as it is right now and take another look at the chat for a change. Preda, if something fits, then people wouldn't notice it, but if it's bad or missing, then it sticks out. Yeah, you said it in much less words and more concise than my rambling. Benjamin, and if we don't know, we don't do. And if we don't do, what are we here for? Yeah, precisely. Okay, cool. So, next thing, I think we're cutting back and forth to, yeah, the detective closer shots, just so that you see it. It's just closer shots of the detective, and it's just going back and forth between the two, where it's a little dialogue with as much 1940s slang as I could fit into. I've been reading a lot of Raymond Chandler as research, and I've been enjoying it quite a lot, actually. So, where we go here. So this, oh, of course, yeah, this was the split screen again. Should have been organizing my stuff a little bit better. So it's Detective Close. This one here. And yeah, my wife was helping me out. She was not feeling too well that day, but it was really great that I had no troubles convincing her just to go out in the middle of the night and just hit record and help me out with the framing and everything. So Connie, if you see this, if you're watching this, thank you so much again for really being a good sport and helping me with all my crazy antics here. So okay, so this is even focused, which is great. I really like the light fringe. Didn't spend a lot of time setting up the light, so I'm happy that it turned out well. And the cars in the background are blurry enough that maybe they are not too distracting, that they aren't 1940s cars. But we will see. Maybe I need to do a whole visual effects pass on this shot. Let's cross our fingers that I don't. Okay, so again, let's get back to syncing. You know what? Because I'm not sure if I will be needing this shot later on or not. Let's just sync this shot there just right after it. Cool. So, did this work? So here, yeah, there we go. Just to show you, this is what the app looks like, and you got a countdown so that everything syncs up. And here is the first frame where the screen changes color, and then the shot counter starts. This is good. And is it here on the audio? Yeah, because I was quite far away. I think this little, yeah, this, I'm not quite sure if you can hear it, but this little pebble here on this lone string is the sync point. But it's cool, I only need one, and you probably won't hear it because right now there's another plane passing. It's just so many planes. When I'm starting to work in the evening, the last planes fly, and in the morning when I'm about to go to sleep, the first planes take off. So it's a great life here close to the airport. Okay, so I think it's in sync now. In sync. Yeah, looks synced. Yeah.
I don't want your money. Toss it over, Buster.
Yeah, not quite happy with my acting. The problem was I was having a Christian Bale episode there because, like I said, I had some onlookers as I was doing this, and of course they were behind the camera and I was looking above the camera. So essentially I was just looking at two onlookers having a grand old time watching me act, and this is why my line reads are terrible. Let's face it. Okay, cool. So,
Hey, Bo.
okay, so hey Bo, what is this?
Stick up.
Okay, did I do this again? I really said it just once.
I don't want your money. I wanted what?
Yeah,
Hey, Bo.
I really said it just once. So it's this is not ideal. Usually you want a couple of takes to work with, but like I said, I was running low on disk space in my camera and on time, and like I said, I was uncomfortable, so
Stick up.
but this works. Even though the gun is slightly across my mouth, but
Stick up.
okay, so let's take this one, link, and put it back into the scene. And this is editing. Essentially, it's just picking. Oh my god! I'm grasping for metaphors and words. It's like the Cinderella fairy tale. It's like the good ones go into the pot and the bad ones you just throw away. I don't know what's the proper terms for this, and of course in German I would know. But it's the same thing with editing. You just keep the best ones and just line them up properly, and congratulations, you got a nice edit. Of course there's more to it, but still.
Bo. What is this? Stick up.
Oh, good. Yeah, it works. I would say it works. Let's crank up the audio here as well.
What is this?
What is this?
Stick up.
Okay, now we need a reaction from the other guy. And I think we should be good because I got here the close-ups as well. Yeah, I shot two close-ups. This is good. As you can see here, there is my light in the frame, but it's cool because, like I said, 4:3, so I can still nudge it around a little. What is this? Yeah. Okay, so let's see if it's in focus, and it looks like it is. And actually those are just prop glasses, but they look like they magnify my eyes a little. Maybe it's just an optical illusion, but I look a little bit like an owl. So yeah, this was the first shot where my hand and the wallet was out of frame. So thanks, Connie, for noticing. So this is why I did a second take where I didn't hold them as high. So okay, so the thing is stick up, and the reaction is we want to see him with his hands up. Okay, again, of course, I always forget, we need to sync the audio. So where's the sync point? It's very low tech. It's take 2 and clap. There is the sync point, and with the audio, I think this is the sync point for the audio. Yes, and drop it. And now where is the marker? Oh, of course, the marker is here before that the segment that I almost overlooked the edit point there of the in point, and the marker was in front of the in point, so this is why it didn't show up. But here it's now, they line up perfectly. Again, audio gain, let's check. Sounds good.
What is this? That's all I got.
Okay, it's all I got. So cool. So you know what? Again, I will link this, and we will go back and forth from this syncer timeline to the other edit, because now it's just back and forth of 2 shot sizes. So what is this? Stick up. Okay, he lifts his hand. Oh, this takes too long.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of the acting. Not too fond of the acting. Maybe we can take this part there from the first take. Okay, so let's sync also the first take. There we go. Sync mark here, and there it is. Mark. As you can see, the longer you do this, the faster you get, which is good because, man, like I said, I used to sync all the audio for all those Magic Lantern raw clips because simply I had to. So audio gain, normalize audio. Okay, I'm going to clip now, or the edit here, so that I can do an other audio gain pass there. So is this better?
What is this?
Yeah. Also,
It's all I got.
I like the acting on this one better. I like the acting on this one better. Despite it being cut off, which is sad, but in the end, you always go for the better emotion or better conveyance of the mood and the story. So I think I can live with it. But also it's taking too long, me fiddling there with the wallet. So I might want to just cut back and forth and insert a shot of the detective who's not quite sure if this is working out or not for him. So we're starting here now. I can pick, do I want this one here or do I want this one here? I think I like this one here better because he looks down a little bit as if he's trying to find an escape route, but notices that it's of no use. So he fiddles here with his wallet. Then we cut back to the detective and then cut back to where he's already got the wallet in his hands so that we don't have to watch him fiddle. Okay, so let's
Stick up.
also will, for consistency's sake, bump the audio here as well. Oh, man, it's just the traffic noise is just incredible. Okay, just a little bit longer. And back to the detective. I think, like I said, we still got it here. So now what I like about this take here is, look, I like how he's not quite certain what's happening here, or if he's really going through with this. So I don't recall that when I was acting, but apparently I chewed a little bit here, and I like this little movement there on my jaws. Ah, man, it's details, all those details. So that's the out point, so let's just add it in and out. Clear in and out. And I think this is what it was. So just to bridge the time. Yeah, I can see something happening here with my mouth on this side here. It's just a beginning smile, and I don't want it here because this is almost too smug at this point. He's still a little bit worried that this whole thing, what he's doing, is working or not. So yeah, I think this works. And now we cut back to the other shot, the first shot, which I liked better from the acting, but it was cut off. So here, now he's got it.
Please. It's all I got.
Okay, he throws his wallet, but the detective is not interested in his wallet. Okay, when I will make now a cut here before the wallet drops, because this one is quite a peak in the waveform, and if I normalize it, well, it won't get any louder because this part behind in the end is so loud. So, but the first part here can be improved, as could this one here, just so you can hear what's going on, and maybe I can make some use of it. But most, if not all, of this dialogue I will have to redo in this very amazing setup here. Okay, so it's too loud now, even for my tastes.
Please. It's all I got.
Okay, now we cut back to the detective. Since we as viewers are following the wallet and want to know what's in it, I don't have right now the shot where the wallet drops on the ground because I was feeling uncomfortable and completely forgot it because I just wanted to get away from all those onlookers. It was just two people. When I say all those onlookers, it sounds like a crowd was gathering. No, it was just two people, and I think they left or just sat in the back where I didn't quite see them, but I could hear them, and I wasn't quite sure if I was being watched. Uncomfortable. So I will try now to cut around this. Maybe I don't need even this shot of at least of the wallet dropping on the ground. For the second thing that he's throwing, maybe I will go out later on. It's right now it's 10 p.m. So maybe I will go out later and and film it. Okay, so back to where we were. Great, another plane. I can see in the chat that you say you don't really hear them that much, which is great because I can, and I'm still wearing headphones even. So what does it say?
I don't want your money.
I don't want your money. I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief. This is a line that's pretty easy to write, and it's very hard to act, especially if you're not familiar with English like myself. Yeah, I'm just not used to talking English that much, but hey, we're here now and it's going great. So yeah, let's hear me stumble through my line. I was looking on the ground because I had the shot list at my feet, so I could always check. And also the font I used was very small, so maybe I got my lines wrong. Okay, so let's hear it.
I don't want your money. I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief. I don't want your money. I wanted what...
God.
I don't want your money. I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief.
Did I do it again? Was this it? Or just one?
Toss it over, Buster.
Okay, so yeah, just I can't pick and choose. I have to take what I got.
I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief. I don't want your money.
Ah, God.
I wanted what...
What I also don't like about this shot is that the gun is occluding my mouth and it's a little bit distracting. But on the other hand, this works well since I'm ADRing later dubbing over this line, so maybe it works.
I don't want your money. I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief.
Yeah, the line read could have been much better, and also the acting, but oh God, yeah, I have to take it anyway.
I don't want your money.
Okay, so I'm looking down now at my line, but maybe if I cut from here, this works as if I was looking up from the wallet at my feet and decided, no, I don't want it. And I just read what Frank wrote in the chat, that since the detective doesn't care about the wallet, so maybe we don't need to see it. Yeah, this makes sense, absolutely. So at least for the wallet, we don't care about it. So
All I got.
okay, so the wallet drops, and I will try now to edit it in here quite quickly, that I edit back from when he's dropping the thing to the detective looking up. I think this works.
It's all I got. I don't want your money.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Please. It's all I got.
No, you know what? I don't like it. Yeah, as we just established, the detective doesn't care about the wallet, so why should he be looking at it? Is he still looking his victim in the eye and says, I don't want your money? So it's of no interest to him, so let's just clip this part out and try it again. Normalize. There we go.
Please. It's all I got. I don't want your money. I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief.
Okay, so yeah, he's very happy with his line. And occluding the mouth. Ah, man. Sad. Hashtag sad. Okay, so... Okay, so now our victim is flabbergasted. I love this word, because he can't grasp how the detective could know that he's hiding something in his handkerchief. Let's find the right expression there. How could you know?
How could you know?
Yeah, this is good. I like this. But it takes so long.
How could you know?
Did I do it twice? Okay, once. Yeah, let's check the other take. Maybe this one is better, that I don't take as long. Yeah, when you're acting, as I've learned right now, well, I've learned it before, but right now it's pretty obvious. When you do multiple takes, well, the reason for doing multiple takes is, for once, yeah, you probably messed up the line or something didn't plan out as expected. This is, of course, a pretty obvious reason. The other is that you want to give yourself options during the editing. Like I said here, I don't have any kind of shorter version where I'll be, or maybe I'm pronouncing things differently, emphasizing things differently, so that in the edit I could choose what works best in the context and for the story, that everything feels very coherent. Because when you're shooting, you're not shooting chronologically. You just have a setup for one shot and then pretty much play out anything that happens there, no matter when it happens in the script. And it's really hard to, even if you're planning like I do a lot, it's really hard to get the right kind of emotion or reaction for something that didn't happen in your life at this point, because you will shoot the other shot of the other person talking to you in 2 weeks or something. And this is why you want to just give different kinds of line reads and reactions. So yeah, let's hope that this one works better.
But how could you?
Yeah, also too much time. From here, from once he's noticing it, that want what's in your handkerchief, he goes, just to show you, he goes, what? Oh man,
How could you?
Man, this takes so long. This takes so long. So I either have to edit out his reaction, that he's first puzzled and then amused almost, that he's either puzzled, then we cut back to the detective. Maybe we need to cut around it. I think this is what we're going to do. And if it's weird that we see the detective this often jump back and forth, maybe. Okay, I don't like the first shot as much because there is no movement in the eyebrows, or not a lot of movement there.
How could you?
And here it says, how could you toss it over, Buster? And he realizes that, oh shit, this guy means business. So maybe again we take the second part from this shot and the first part from this shot here. So I'm starting here. And yeah, maybe this one will look a little bit weird. But yeah, this is what happens in the edit stage. You're just trying things out. It's like programming. You just iterate over it and see what works and what doesn't. And the most important part is don't grow attached to your darlings. Kill them early and kill them plentiful. And I see something new in the chat. Hello, Domenico De Simone. Greetings. Okay, so like I said, we cut back to the detective, and since I was so bad at remembering my lines, there's a lot of silence between my lines that I can salvage here for reaction shots. I hope, unless, of course, I was ducking out of the frame and reading off the scripts at my feet. Oh well.
Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
I love this lingo. Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead. Man, this is some solid 1940s gangster lingo there. You know what? I like that he's licking his lips here. But maybe it's a little bit too theatrical or too overacting.
Toss it over, Buster.
Okay, I like this second line better than this one. So he's just, let's try this one here. Where is my edit? There he is. Okay, he's just watching it. And this is taking too long. This is taking too long. I really want what he's having in his handkerchief. Okay, maybe earlier. Okay, let's try it with his reaction. Where is his reaction?
But how could you?
Maybe from here. But how could you? So just take this and then we interrupt him from the detective.
How could you?
Toss it over, Buster. Okay, where's the detective again? Here he is.
Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
What's this one here?
Now scram and keep your mitts up.
Now scram and keep your mitts up. Ah, this was so fun to write. Not so fun to act. Not so fun to act. When do you think you'll finish the post-mortem? Who knows? Frankly, who knows? I will try. I had a little bit of a slump lately where I just couldn't stand working on it any longer because there is still so much to be done. I'd say a couple of weeks, probably months even, but I do my best, really. I do my best, but I had for myself, I had to take on different kinds of creative projects because I wasn't having a lot of fun anymore, which is ironic because the whole post-mortem is about giving up on one game because I didn't have any fun doing it, and this project just grew too big. So I think I've said this multiple times, but the future post-mortems won't be as elaborate as this one, featuring a whole short film that's set in the 1940s. Apparently, yeah, I overscoped. Now I have to somehow finish this big heap of work that I amassed for myself. But I can't blame anybody but myself. It's the pride. My own pride got the better of me, so this is why I'm still there, working on it. I try to get in a couple of hours. That's work getting done on this each week, that it doesn't lie dormant, because I think we all know that once you've given up on working on a project at a regular interval, you think, yeah, it's just so complicated, but I will put it aside just for a week or two and then come back to it. And during those 2 weeks that you're away, you get so many new ideas for great new projects, and you will never come back, and you got this sitting there half finished. You probably didn't write some kind of documentation or anything about it, so the likelihood of you returning to it is getting even less and less as the weeks go by. And this is why I want to keep working on it, even if I can't work on it for long stretches of times. But to be honest, this is my attempt of being a little bit more thorough with it by streaming it, so I don't have any excuses of not working on it. And I hope this is entertaining. Jesus, I mean, I've been streaming for, 1 hour and 8 minutes, and you're all still there, so thank you so much for not leaving or watching anything different. And if you're watching this now on your, after the stream as video on demand, I hope you're still watching, so thank you already. Okay, but now, without further ado, let's finish this scene.
But how could you? Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
You know what? It would be better since... okay, let's make the sound a little bit louder that you can hear it. This guy here, he says, but how could you... No, he wants to say, how could you know? But he's not saying it because he's being interrupted by the detective. So you know what? Maybe we cut this in here a bit further.
Toss it over.
Toss it over, Buster. So, but how could you toss it over, Buster? Let's try it like this.
But how could you? Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
I think this one works. This one works better. People interrupting each other is really hard to edit because I think all of us have played games where there's some dialogue going on, where one person interrupts the other, and it's just a cringeworthy how badly this is done oftentimes. If one is going, yeah, we must find the great wizard because he... No, we should stay here. It's this awkward pause because people don't talk when they're interrupting each other. They don't make pauses or leave pauses. They keep talking for a word or two. And I've learned this also the hard way when I was doing the keynote.
But how could you... Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
Okay, this man means business. And our victim at this point knows it. Okay, where is our victim shot? Here are our two shots. And now he's pretty attached to what he's... But how could you... Okay, now he knows this guy means business. And he's really attached to what's in this bundle. Okay, this is a very long shot, and I hope with music I can make it work. That it's not too long. Man, I was really taking my time. Look at this. This is as long as this exchange is here. And come to think of it, I don't like the framing because if you look at it in this small window here I am... There's still some room here above my head, and I'm quite in the center here, right? And here I'm also quite in the center, but there is not as much room there. So it looks a bit different here because the camera is at different heights. So the one thing that I might be doing then is scaling this one here up and moving it a bit around like so, that the detective is on the left side of the frame. And for this shot here, yeah, I can't really scale it up there, but I can move it a bit, just a little bit to the right. No, this was the left, like so, and see if this works. The problem that I'm having here now is, again, man, this is filmmakers 101 here with the eye lines. Here, this guy, the detective, is looking, well, straight into the camera. Well, it's not quite straight into the camera, but this direction. He's looking into this side of the frame. And then we cut, and this guy here should be looking to the other side of the frame because they're talking. But again, I got this wrong. The cheap solution to this would be the following. And you know what? Maybe I could give this a try. Where is effects, and it's called flip or flop. And this is a horizontal flip. And yeah, maybe this could work. So just for demonstration purposes, let's try this out.
Or I pump lead.
You know what? Maybe this works. I'm not quite sure if I'll be doing this, but it could work. The thing is, of course, I got the hair now on the wrong side, and yeah. You know what? For now, I'm just going to undo this, but just that you know that I'm not quite happy with the framing.
Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
Yeah, he's looking in the wrong direction. Maybe I'm going to reshoot this, perhaps. I mean, now that I know the lines and that I don't have to take my time as long as I did here. If you reshoot something the second time around, it's always going to be better, but at the same time, it's just doing the work twice. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Okay, so this thing here that he's throwing, I really want to show it land there on the ground because I don't have the detective picking it up. So maybe I'm just putting this one here down as a stand-in for now, that I just know that I need to shoot something there in between, just some kind of, you know, tarmac on the ground with nice lights and long shadows that it looks very dramatic, and in the costume of the detective just picking it up, because I don't have him picking it up. All I have is leaning down and or kneeling down and coming up with this bundle. Where is the detective? There he is. And here he's putting it. So yeah. Bad thing is when you're shooting stuff by yourself, you can't, if you don't have a camera operator to keep the camera on you or pan around, sometimes it's not as helpful. Okay, either way, I'm just trying to find the right in point. I mean, this looks a little bit comic, and I don't want it to be too funny. I mean, the whole thing is funny, but it's taking itself very seriously, and I think I don't want to work against it. So this is no naked gun. Well, perhaps a little bit it is. Okay, so we have the detective in between there, just grabbing the thing, and the shot as I envision it is that you have the wallet on the ground and this little bundle. There are my hands, but you can see them, the wallet and this little bundle, so that you can see the detective is only interested in this little bundle and picks it up, lifts it up, because now we can cut to this one here where he's in the middle of the frame getting up. It's always about the movement inside the frame where people are directing their eyes at.
Now scram and keep your mitts up.
Now scram and keep your mitts up. Okay. So we have this thing here in the middle, just that we know. I keep it dark for now. Maybe I insert some kind of, just plate where it says stand in. Maybe I need a little bit more of the detective getting up.
Now scram and keep your mitts up. Mitts up.
Okay, for some reason he's licking his lips again, which is weird. Why did I do this? I don't know.
Mitts up.
Okay, but I want to edit as soon as he says keep your mitts up. So, almost done with this scene. What is here? Yeah, this is the next shot of the detective where he's just watching the guy go. Okay, so maybe we will use this shot here, the wide angle shot. Maybe we can even use both shots, because now he's hesitant a little bit, now turning and walking away towards the onlookers that are sitting there in the bench in the darkness, and I avoided their gaze because I'm an introvert. Okay, so maybe we can. Yeah, I like his grumpy face there. Yeah, the guys behind me just laughing. So keep your mitts up. Good, now he's walking. Let's try it like this. And keep your mitts up.
Mitts up.
He's walking. Now we can cut back to the detective, who's just watching him walk, in the closer shot, in this one here. He's the arm sinks with the gun. This is good. I like this. We start from here. Yes, let's take this before I dither too long about, well, maybe there's some other time where it looks a little bit better, but this one works. And just a bit longer perhaps, and then we cut to the wide shot of the victim leaving. Here, this one. Maybe even we start even here, otherwise he wouldn't have made it far from his original position. Now I'm basing this on how his hands look against the darkness, that you can see it. I think this one looks best here. Yeah, I think this one where he's passing into the darkness. I think I like this best. From here, under the lights and into the darkness. This is good. I like this. Oh man, this will look so great in black and white. This will look just amazing. I hope. Good. And now we cut back to the detective making a run for it. Like so. And there is, I think, a line that is spoken on the voiceover. So I need to account for that. So where is this voiceover line?
Robbing the guy.
There it is.
He was a jewel thief.
So let's try to put it in there. So this is the line.
I felt real nasty robbing the guy. He was a jewel thief, all right, but he certainly didn't look like it.
Okay, so let's just put it over this one. And see if this works.
I felt real nasty.
Okay, so we should be starting here where he's already lowered the gun quite substantially. And since he's talking about himself, maybe we start sooner with the voiceover. This one is just walking away. And now maybe he says, yeah,
I felt real nasty robbing the guy. He was a jewel thief, all right, but he certainly didn't look like it.
Okay, yeah, this is my exit is pretty fast. Anything else here?
He certainly didn't look like it.
So in the layout, it just says it's just a fade out. Yeah, you can see how it looks differently here in the layout and in the final shot, of course.
Robbing the guy. He was a jewel thief, all.
You know what? Let's start this voiceover a little bit earlier here. That we really know who is talking. Because when you see someone and hear something, of course you associate it with this person.
Keep your mitts up.
Okay, you know what? Let's watch the whole scene. I add here now, just for cinematic purposes, here fade out. Quite a long fade out. So that here when I'm leaving the scene, that you don't have a lot of time to look at the cars that are clearly not 1940s cars. Cool. Oh, by the way, if you're curious about why the whole footage looks so washed out and doesn't look as cinematic, well, this is due to the RAW format. You see, to pack all those 14 bits of precision in there, you use a different file format and it represents colors differently, not in a linear fashion as does pretty much every codec, as a consumer codec, you know, such as H264. Instead, it's saved as a logarithmic curve, and this is why it looks so flat, because you have to turn down the gamma. Okay, it's starting to get really technical now. Yeah, this is I'm working. My main job is as a colorist, and this is my daily bread and butter. Suffice it to say that there is a lot of more information in there. in this representation, especially when it comes to highlights and shadows, is in the traditional 8-bit codecs that are in pretty much any video camera or in your phone. Probably notice that sometimes lights just burn out or shadows are just too dark that you can't see anything. And with this representation, you just got more to work with. And this is why I like it so much. And I decided, yeah, the trade-off of having a lot of memory occupied by this is worth it, because I can make the black and white look really gorgeous. At least, like I said, this is my hope. But since I've been doing color grading for over 10 years now, I'm pretty yeah, looking forward that it's possible. Okay, so now that the edit is done, you know what? Let's also pick the temp music there.
Or I pump lead.
I will try now. The temp music, by the way, is from what's it called? LA Noir. And oh man, the music just fits perfectly. But yeah, I'm sad to say that probably it's hard to get the rights from Rockstar Games. Okay, so yeah, as you can see now here, the music is pretty chunky and doesn't quite work with the edit that I'm having here now. So I'm just trying to stretch it a little bit. I mean, not really stretch, just use other parts of the track, so that just for us that we can see if it's working or not.
Chances to take anyway.
So let's just...
Hey.
Okay, so are you ready to watch the finished scene? It's never quite finished, of course, but for today I think it is. So we start here with the detective observing, and then
I was out of
we see our new
chances to
scene.
take anyway. Hey, Bo. What is this? Stick up. Please. It's all I got. I don't want your money. I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief. But how could you? Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
The music doesn't work for this anymore.
Now scram and keep your mitts up. I felt real nasty robbing the guy. He was a jewel thief, all right, but he certainly didn't look like it.
You know what I just noticed? There is this little smiley face there all the way to the right on the wall. By the way, it's really hard finding some kind of passage like this without graffitis. But I was lucky with this one. There was only one. I think you can see it here in the wide shot, this one here. But I can get rid of this, should I want to do so. It almost looks a bit too clean, to be frank. But maybe in black and white and with more contrast, it should work. Okay, the one thing that I don't like about this is this awkward pause here. But how could you know between this one here?
But how?
This one doesn't work for me, so I will try now to just delete it and see if it plays out differently.
I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief. But how could you? Toss it over, Buster.
Oh, this works so much better. This works so much better.
Please. It's all I got. I don't want your money. I want what's it you keep in your handkerchief. But how could you? Toss it over, Buster, or I pump lead.
Yeah, this works. Now even the music seems to work better.
Now scram and keep your mitts up.
I felt real nasty robbing the guy. He was a jewel thief, all right, but he certainly didn't look like it.
I'm happy. I'm quite happy. So the next scene is... Okay, so this is still the scene that we just did. And the next scene here starts with a spoiler. So, oh, damn it. Don't look, don't look. Ah, damn it. Accidentally I scrubbed into it. So if you just watched 2 seconds now, you've seen a spoiler. So I'm sorry, but I hope you will still watch the whole thing. You don't know what the spoiler is about, at least. Okay, so thank you so much for your interest in watching, and I will take now questions because apparently this is a lecture and there will be a test next week and an exam in 2 months. So I hope you took notes. Okay, maybe I should mention it that I'm just kidding. I'm kidding a little bit. You don't know which part I was serious about. Okay, so let's have a look at the chat. Wanted to edit the Ludum Dare with these guys. Yeah, I got I got all the costumes here in my home office, so it's getting pretty cramped. But I won't edit it with the fedora. I mean, I look like a hipster, as it is already. Making this clear is useful, especially behind the scenes. All of those people are the same actor. Yeah, it's. I hope it doesn't. It's not too obvious that, of course, I'm playing all the roles. That at least it feels a little bit that there. If you suspend your disbelief, quite good, that you can take it that those are different people. Why the black screen there on the transition? Oh yes, in the middle, the black screen. You're referring to this one here. This is the one where this is for right now stand in, because later today I hope that the road outside is dry, that I will shoot up a close-up of the wallet there and this bundle and the arm of the detective reaching in and lifting the bundle, and then we have this shot here where he's just getting up, so you know what's happening in between there. Yeah, that feels more natural. Good. So like I said, sometimes you just have to take out that it looks better, that it works more. Was that a spoiler or a cameo? Yeah, kind of both. You don't know who this person is going to be, so yeah, I try to be as tight-lipped as possible because it's going to be funny, I hope. Good thing is on my second screen that didn't see the spoiler. Oh, good. This is why you should always watch my streams in a different tab and maybe Futurama on top of it, so you're not getting spoiled. You already asked your question. Okay, great. So you know what? I expected this to last 90 minutes. And look at this, it's 1 hour and 33 minutes. And I didn't trip over my tongue in the English language once, because it happened multiple times now. But I hope you still could make out what I was trying to communicate. As for other thing, there's something happen even more on the chat. You paused your Patreon. How can I give you all my money? Turn it on again. Yeah, I paused my Patreon, for those who don't know, because I felt each time that I was not working on the post-mortem, that I was somehow taking advantage of people because they became patrons, because they want to see more post-mortems. And it, like I said, it's just so much, and I didn't enjoy working on it anymore. And I really thought, yeah, I can't take money or support from people when I'm not doing the thing they support me with in the first place. And so I took the 2 weeks off essentially from doing the post-mortem and not stressing when I was just playing a game or just doing something else and not working on it, because that made me feel better, that I wasn't charging money or wasn't working or charging money for not working on this. And yeah, the last 2 weeks where I did things that are completely different and just came to my mind, it was like before before doing Ludum Dare postmortems, I was just doing what I wanted to do, and most of the time it's something creative. As you've seen, those great transitions, this was really fun. I made this yesterday and put in way too many hours for this. And along with this came I did some more digital painting. I made some more music, started some kind of game that looks or tries to mimic to be a DOS game as much as possible. I started this little tool to extract metadata from this Magic Lantern files and so on. So it's just a lot of creative stuff happening. And so I decided to switch the focus of my Patreon, that I'll be doing more of this random creative stuff. Like I say, just anything that comes to my mind that is fun, that I want to share with you. And also make some more videos that are not live streams, where I'm talking about things like, for example, right now I'm planning to do videos on how I do backups and what my data retention policies are and how you could do this on your own. And also photogrammetry, which essentially means taking photos and making 3D models out of what's on those photos automatically for no money, but not really, because I use Maya and this costs way too much money. But for the photogrammetry stuff, you don't need Maya. So, and my plans are doing more streams, just being more present and yeah, just being around. And for this transitional period, which will be probably a month or two, just where I find my new focus, I want to keep my Patreon paused so that people who only came to support me for my Ludum Dare postmortems, that they see if they could like this new direction without paying for it, and if they don't, well, of course, they can still pause their pledge or drop off. I mean, like I said, it's not a big deal if you came for something and then this thing changes. It's really fair and they're good right to just say, bye, I've had enough. And for anyone else, yeah, like I said, I just do I'm not as focused on the Ludum Dare stuff, more on a broader creative stuff, anything that you can do with a computer or artistic that is fun, and most of the time has to do with making games, because I think making games is the greatest thing that you can do with a computer, because everything, all those little different creative endeavors and art stuff just caters to this big thing of making a game. You can make music, you can make videos, you can make pixel drawings, you can make fonts, pretty much anything, just you can combine and roll up together in a game of your own. And isn't this great? Okay, so I've been talking way too much now. There is something more happening I can see in the chat. They're supporting with everything you can get back to postmortem. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is, I want to do some more work on the postmortem and also stream doing some work on the postmortem, as long as if it's not going to be too spoilery. So you probably won't see me live on screen, on stream, working on the last scenes, of course, because they will be the big reveal. Do you have any plans on doing another collab partner jam like what you did on LD38? Maybe, but like I said, I'm not quite sure on the direction that I'm taking right now. And I'm more of a solo dev. And when I will do a collaboration, it's probably with somebody that is close around here. Because, yeah, it's just easier to collaborate, at least I found. And another thing is, yeah, I'm pretty much of an introvert. This is why it's easier for me to talk to a camera and to some people out there than just go out and be there. So yeah, I'm just more comfortable with working alone. And the other thing is that I always feel that I can't burden anyone else with my problems that I'm having with my code or with doing graphics. Like this collaboration with Max, it was really, I was feeling a little bit bad that he was doing all the code alone. Of course, I mean, this is what we agreed to in the beginning, but yeah, still, it's just this personal thing with me. Do you have any plans? Yeah, from your experience, what tips do you have for balancing life, work, and those big projects and other projects? I'm not quite sure if I'm good at balancing, but from what I've learned over the years, and also especially in the last weeks and months and days even, is if you got a big project, you should try at least once a week to keep working on it. Like I said before, that you don't completely give it up at one point. If you still enjoy working on it. But with big projects, sometimes there are days where you think, I know what I got to do, but it's just a drag. I really want to do this. And with big projects, because they're so big, there's always something where you can that is fun and that motivates you. For example, with this post-mortem, when I say, oh geez, I can't keep working on the edit. I really hate it. I can't. It just doesn't work. You know what? Maybe I could do some 3D graphics, because there are so many green screen shots anyway, so I can just put on a nice podcast or some music and just get lost in Maya and click around and make some kind of matte painting, for example. Just something that you don't lose working on it, but that still gets you back in the groove and keeps you motivated to maybe one day get back to the other thing. And of course, what motivates me is sharing with people and getting feedback from other people. This is the thing why I'm here, why you are here, because you motivate me to do all this stuff. Without an audience, I probably would have given up after 2 or 3 at most Ludum Dare documentaries and thought, yeah, I tried this was nice. But now that I know that I can entertain and inspire people, well, this has, of course, turned into something else entirely. And what I also suggest is to really look after yourself. And I know this is really hard for me, or it's pretty thick coming from me, that I say, yeah, sometimes it's okay if you don't work on your big project. Don't feel bad for not working on your project. In the end, it's nothing that where life and death depends on you working on a project. But what does is your well-being. So really look after yourself. Have a nutritious meal, spend some time with your family and loved ones, and take off 2 or 3 weeks, maybe, when you know that you will get back to be working on it. And what helps me is when I want to step away from a big project, that I have a plan where I can dive right in. You don't want to step away from a big project when you're having when it's not compiling anymore and you think, oh Jesus, I need to go through 3,000 lines of code to find this one bug, and I'm just not feeling it anymore. And of course, then it's much harder to come back to it. But if you have a plan and it says, yeah, just draw 2 more sprites for the shrubbery and some trees and some clouds and then some other stuff, because then it's much easier for you to get back into the groove. Man, this was quite long. I hope I hope I answered your questions. It spoils things with the last line of the script. It says credits. Yeah, of course, the script is online. I'm not quite sure where it is. I think I put it on to my pixelprophecy.com/stuff site, but I'm not sure. But where is the script? Once I'm done, you know what? I just noticed that I'm still having here this whole Premiere thing open. So let's switch over to, hi, it's me, but in big. So once I'm done, I will put again this script with all those stains. Oh my god, I think I got even some coffee stains there. So with everything, I will scan it in and put it up on pixelprophecy.com/goodstuff or just stuff. For people who are interested in the behind the scenes stuff, just to have a look at it and see how it looked before when I was dreaming it up, and in the end how it turned out. Okay, so I think I've been talking for close to 2 hours now, and I'm still not the only one here, so thank you for sticking with me and for just being active in the chat and asking questions and just making me not look like a fool that I'm talking into a webcam and no one else out there is following along. So my plans for the next stream are the following. Probably I will be doing a stream, I hope, if I'm announcing it right now, and the plan is to do one each week, preferably at the same time as this one, preferably more punctual, because I'm getting better at getting all the software and the streaming stuff set up, and I even invested in a faster internet, which of course costs, but yeah, this also comes with the benefit of streaming Netflix and uploading streaming because my wife is probably watching something right now, that this works out. And the plan is, yeah, doing a stream of something creative, what I would be doing anyway each week. So I don't know what it's going to be next week, but the plan for now is, unless anything comes up there in between, is to do some digital scene extension and matte paintings, because I need a shot of myself walking up to a warehouse that's situated in the 1940s Los Angeles, which is hard to come by in 2019 Salzburg. So I'm trying to get started on this and maybe have something already to show. And if I don't have anything to do, maybe it could also be interesting to show you some of my projects that I'm working on. Like I said, this little DOS game thingy that pretends to be a DOS game. Yeah, something along those lines. Either way, I'm sure we will figure it out. Okay, so I've been talking really long now. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this live stream, and maybe I see you next week if it works with your schedule, and if not, well, this will always be available on demand. If something horrible happens, like a pipe bursts somewhere, or I kill my computer and there will be blood and pixels, well, maybe this could go viral. Either way, yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and have a great Sunday, if it's still Sunday, and see you around. Cheers!